Wednesday, happy Wednesday. You are tuned in, tapped into transitions, life lessons, and legacies. I am Hyacinth Henderson, and to my left, I got my main man, Mr. Robert Henderson
Da, da,
Jr.
da, da, da. Yes, that's here, me in the flesh, Robert Henderson, her pops, founder, president of the Henderson Financial Group, founder, president of the Henderson Insurance Enterprise, and founder and president of Henderson Realty Enterprises. Yes, we love what we do here. We're a full service financial planning firm. We've been in business for over 30 years, and our goal is to bring your our goal is to bring your future into your present.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring your future into the present.
Yeah, that's what our goal is. We want to take care, because a lot of people say, I wish I could have did it, or they want to foresee. But right now, you have a chance to actually work on your future. Right now. Do you know that? Right now.
Right now,
you
here
working,
today.
and we are. And either you planting something or you're not planting nothing.
Right.
And in the future going to come, you're like, what do I have? And you have nothing, because that day you didn't plant anything. So
With the
that's what
headphones, does that mean you can't hear us, June? Is that what the headphones are for? June is here. She says happy Wednesday, but then she posted some headphones. Does that mean you can't hear? The volume is up. Let us know if you can hear us, or we talking. Oh, you know what? I can look at my phone.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Let me
Can
see.
you hear us?
Unless that's secret. Maybe that means I'm listening.
Oh,
Maybe that's what that means. You know, I'm
so many emojis out there.
I'm almost 40 now.
Yep,
I can hear.
That's right. A few more days.
Yeah, in a
few more
week.
days,
How do you
you'll be
feel
40.
about that?
How do I feel like that? 40 years.
So this time, 40 years ago, she says, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was the moment.
Yeah.
So this time,
You really are getting 40.
I love it too. I love it so
Even
much.
I picked up on that. That means she's listening. She got her headphones on.
Oh, now you know. So this time, 39 years ago,
Yes.
right? Not quite 40.
Okay.
39 in 3 weeks. How were you? Were you anxious about my arrival? Were you like, oh my gosh,
I
I'm
wasn't
not,
anxious.
how are you
Everything
feeling?
comes before us. Everything comes at the right time. I just, hey, what's here?
Were you like anticipating?
Yeah, I was anticipating. I knew you was coming.
I was your first daughter.
Yes, you were.
I mean, did you have my hospital
I
outfit?
got 3 daughters. The 2 flowers in a storm.
2 flowers in the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you're not playing along well. So
I'll
I'll
by
be 40.
what I mean by 2 daughters in the storm, because your name
The
is-
names.
the names for people who don't know. That means is Hyacinth is a flower, Jasmine is a flower, and Tempest is the name of the storm. Yeah. I
Did
didn't
you
know that.
intentionally name her after a storm?
No, her mom. I mean, Natalie was watching Bill Cosby. She liked Tempest.
Oh, Tempest Bledsoe.
And
Yes.
she actually said Tempest. We didn't think about Tempest being a storm, but y'all names really do fit you. That's That's amazing about names.
With their power in names.
There's a lot of power in names.
Power
You know how
in
many times we thought about changing Tempest's name to Ann or Sue? Just plain and calm.
A little too late.
Or Rosie. But it's too
Yes.
late now. She won't do it because why? Because she's Tempest and she's what? A storm.
She's
But I love her.
storm.
But
She's proud of that.
Yeah, but that's who she is, and
Yeah.
she's hey, I don't know. My 3 girls and I have 2 boys, Robert and Paris. Yeah, they fit their names too.
Yeah.
They really do.
So did you realize what you were doing when you were naming us, or you were just like, well, I know you didn't name me.
All right, your mother did.
Right. Okay, let's get back to the show.
Well, not your mother. As a matter of fact, this lady, her name is Hyacinth.
I know this story very well. That's actually Rochelle's mom.
Right, it really is.
Long, yeah. Long story.
I said,
small
yeah, I
world.
like that name. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you who are new to us, we are the Henderson Financial Group, a full-service financial planning and investment advisory firm. I am a licensed stockbroker, a registered investment advisor, and an annuity insurance broker. We are based in sunny South Florida. We have clients all over the world, not just the country. This was pre-2019, but now 2019, more people have come alive and open to tech. So we do a lot of Zoom meetings and things like that. So, so the Wednesday show transitions is with me and my father, Mr. Robert Henderson Jr.
Certified financial planner, certified tax coach, licensed stockbroker, annuities, insurance advisor.
Yes. And so he founded the firm 30 years ago. So on Wednesday, it's kind of like a more relaxed. It's not exclusively about money, or not always about money, even though things are always about money.
Everything's about money.
It's about money, but it's just relaxed. It's like a conversation. We talk
deals with
about
the
different
minds a
things.
lot.
Yeah, mind,
Mind stuff.
spirituality, astrology,
I don't know about astrology.
botany.
Oh man.
All right, so thank
Mind
you.
stuff, just science, mind stuff. Thinking, thoughts. That's what today's transition show is about. On Saturday, we really get into understanding money, talking about particular.
Understanding money.
It's all about the money.
It is.
I mean, if you talk about religion, going to heaven, where the money at? I mean, don't supposed to be like that, but it is like that. Education, same thing. Cost.
Well, we're changing. The world is changing. Speaking of today's topic, we are changing so that the newer generations are like, listen, we know that y'all was like all about the money so much so that you were working your bodies to the bone. You were ignoring your well-being. You were ignoring your mental health. And we understand that. And that's what got us here, but it's not what's going to get us there. And so then you start to see the younger generation, the millennials and the Generation Zs, right, standing up and saying, listen, we're not doing this anymore. Our mental health is important. Our well-being is important. We don't want to wait till we're 60 or 70 or 80 to retire. We want to do things in a different way.
But one thing they all have in common, generation to generation, they're going to need some money.
Yes, we understand that, but we do it differently.
Yeah, you can do it how you want to, and it's good to do things differently because change is good.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to get that currency, whether it's cryptocurrency, it's going to have something that you can exchange this for that.
Right, but you know that, and not, but, and, because when you say but, it cancels out everything that you stated before, and I don't want to cancel out your points. So, and, or in addition to what you stated, we understand that. We understand because we ain't trying to be poor. We want to live the good life.
Y'all really want to live a good life early.
And we also don't want to work ourselves to death to do it.
Right.
We don't.
So I know a lot of you all are after your passion, because the secret of working yourself and if you find your passion and making money, you never work a day in your life.
Correct.
That's your goal.
Yes. And so we come back to that.
Right.
And so that was a saying before, but I think for the generations before, she kind of like, you know what, get over that. It don't matter if you don't like it. You got to do something to make you some money. And now we're like, hold up. If you want us to we want to live the good life, but we have to at least like it. We have to be passionate about it. And that's what I tell people. I tell people now, I said, that's not cliche. It is not cliche, because for the amounts of work that you're going to have to do to be successful in anything, you better make sure you like it.
Yeah.
You better make sure you like it. All right, so let's talk about change. Henderson, change.
Okay. So, I was thinking about how change is and how a lot of people find it difficult to change. But, a lot of people say, this is how I am. This is me. Mm-hmm. Anytime you hear someone say, this is how I am, this is me, that's like a permanent state for right now, and life is definitely not it's not static. Life is not like a Polaroid snapshot. Life is like a movie. It continues to move and change. Think about it. There are no 2 days that are alike, ever.
It doesn't matter if it's Monday and Monday, that it's going to be different.
Every day is a different day, whether you like it or not, whether you want to change. You hold yourself back when you're saying, hey, this is me, this is the way I think, I'm stuck, I'm anchored. And a lot of people do that and not really realize that. In order for you to get better, get increase, you're going to have to change. And a lot of people really fight it. Now, why do you think people fight change so much?
Well, change is uncomfortable. And I believe that humans like to be comfortable. We have a challenging time accepting that it's almost like, okay, once I get through this obstacle and now, I take my shoes off and I sit down, I just want to be comfortable. You mean I got another obstacle? You mean the journey of life means I got something else? And so I find that people don't like change because change asks you to be uncomfortable and it asks you to venture off into the unknown. And so it's like, wait a minute, well, this is what I know. It doesn't matter if it's not working for me, right? So I can see it, touch it, taste it. I know that I'm here. And I also know that it's not working for me, but I'd rather deal with this than to deal with what I don't know, what I've never seen before, what I've never experienced before. So I don't want to be uncomfortable with the unknown.
That is exactly true. But when you do that, and people that do that, they're stuck, and then they complain about why they're not growing. They want something different. They want to feel good. And it's impossible to get something different if you keep doing the same thing, even thinking the same way, even doing everything the same way. So it's like self manipulation, so to speak. Cycle. You want change, but you're afraid, and you don't want to make the steps to make change because, like you said, the unknown. You're not sure, but then that's when this thing called faith comes in, believing in something.
Yeah, and so this is so good though. What is faith though? Because I think that I grew up in the church. My mom was in the church. Me and your son was fighting in the church and running around.
She had y'all going to that church, and I had y'all going to
a different
church.
You did. So
that's right. The church y'all was going to was fire and brimstone, and your mom had you going to.
Right.
Shouting and falling out. But I'm not saying anything is wrong with that.
Thank you.
I was going to a more of a thinking, new thought. What is thought? What is mind?
Yes, and both of them, the commonality between the both churches is they talked a lot about faith.
Yes.
And as I got older, I started pondering, and I said, people always talk a lot about faith. However, I don't know that I have been taught by a teacher, right, without seeking in my own way, to understand how do you have faith.
Well,
because if not, it's just a saying. Oh, have the faith. Okay, have the faith, but what?
All right, your birthday is coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. And so this is an educational moment for the listeners.
Right.
Okay.
So your birthday is coming up, right?
August 7th, the greatest day ever.
Do you believe it's coming?
Yes.
So faith is believing in something, not sure or guaranteed that it's going to happen.
I understand that 100%.
Okay.
So, and they tell you that in church, faith is believing the unseen.
Right. But you don't have no evidence. It's
right,
not guaranteed, but you believe it and it comes to fruition.
Right. And they give you a visual and they say, have the faith of a mustard seed, right? However, I have the place in my life, I've gotten very good at having faith, doing things without seeing it. However, there was a point in my journey where I realized people would tell me to have faith. They would tell me you just got to believe in the unseen, but not really give you tools and explain how to have faith. So what is faith and how to have faith are two different things. So telling someone who needs to change and telling them just have faith, that's the equivalent to me as a parent who's helping their child with their homework. And the child keeps saying 2 + 2 is 5. And so the parent says, I said 2 + 2 equals. It's not helping the child. They're just talking louder, right? So it's not, no, little Johnny, here, let's get 4 cans and let me show you how or why 2 + 2. So I find the same thing with people when it comes to telling them to have faith. How? Show me how.
Okay, well, okay, all right, since you want to go there.
Yeah, we got to help
humans,
people.
Most of us, of sound mind, who are not mentally challenged.
Well, okay, never mind.
We are automatically, whether we're conscious of it, have a sense of faith. Let me explain it. Without you being conscious of it, and watch, and you saying, show me how, it's already in you because it's a belief. And a belief is another word of believing that something's going to happen. You believe that you're going to go home tonight. Now, you say show you how to believe that. No one has to show you how to believe that. You just, in your mind, you don't have any fear about it. You're not afraid that you're going to go home. So that's automatically, you have faith.
So that's the sweet spot, right?
Okay.
So for the people who are out there listening, right? Because we have faith, or we demonstrate faith every day.
Unknowingly,
all day.
unconsciously.
When I finish the show and I walk downstairs and I go walk next to my car, I have the faith that it's going to detect the key in my purse. I'm going to push the button and the car's going to crank up and I'm going to drive home.
That's a belief. That's a faith. You're not afraid. You're not saying, oh my God. Oh my God. You're not saying, Dad, I don't think my car going to stop. You're not saying that. You just, with your whole thought, you just feel, of course it's going to.
Right. So let's let us discuss.
So when you say you don't know how,
it's not that I don't know how. I remember we teaching.
Oh yeah,
people.
okay.
I don't want you to say I don't know.
Okay,
how.
well some people say they don't know how to have faith.
Yeah, well we have to walk this through because that's why we're here with the 7.8 billion people on the planet, to give these analogies and have these conversations.
You're right.
So that they can apply it.
Because most people never ever in their whole life have conversations like this.
No.
Never.
And they're just stuck in a cycle. Like, they keep telling me to have faith, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
So this is a real issue.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's keep using the car thing. So I'm going to grab my pocketbook, as my granny used to say, walk downstairs and just tick, right?
Right.
Now, I have the faith and belief that the car is going to do what it needs to do and it's going to get me where it needs to take me, because I know that I've been taking care of the car, right?
Okay.
Now, what are some things that can stop me from not having that faith? That I may say, you know what, come walk downstairs with me, because I'm not really sure if when I get if it's going to pick up. Well, has the check engine light been on?
Yeah.
Did the car break down?
Right.
Did something happen to you and you were supposed to do a follow-up and you didn't do it? So when we peel back the layers, so the key to having faith for me, and I think for the listeners, is going to be taking an analysis of what your fears are.
And reading the indications.
Exactly.
Indicators.
So you have to take analysis of why wouldn't you think the car is going to crank up? Well, because X, Y, Z. Okay, so let's address those things so that you can go back to having the faith.
Yeah.
So why don't you have faith in the unseen as it relates to this area of your life? Well, this is what are my concerns. Okay, let's take analysis of what your concerns are and let's break these down so that we can spend some time with those, and then you can strengthen your faith muscle.
Right. So in other words, there's no sense in you and I having faith that we're going to be in New York tonight if we haven't even bought a ticket.
Correct.
So there's no sense in us think, oh yeah, I believe I'm going to be in New York tonight to see a play, but we haven't. The indicators say we haven't bought a ticket.
Now we go to the next Bible verse. Faith without works is dead.
Right.
Yes.
So now, if we said we're going to be tonight, we're going to go to New York and watch a play. We have faith because we the indicator says we bought our ticket, we have our hotel, we have our transportation, and we believe. So then we believe we're not there yet, but since we set up, the check engine light is not on, we purchased the ticket, so to speak, so we believe because we've done things to make it happen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So
and I think that's important for our people.
No. And what you and I are talking about, it may seem elementary to a lot of people, but having the discussion, not just hearing the words come in one ear and go out the other, but digesting it, marinating it, understanding the process.
Yes.
And this process is how you make things happen. It really is. And, I always say in America, the schools, education is full of it because they teach us what to think, not how to think.
Absolutely.
And they do a good job. I mean, from preschool to 12th grade, they actually teach us what to think. They even tell us Columbus discovered America. I mean, they tell us a lot of things, and that's what we know. And we do it. That's a lot of years from, preschool to 12th grade telling us how to think and what this is and what to believe. And then we go to college and they tell us more of what to do and how to think so we can get jobs and work for them. All this time, we haven't had sessions on how to think like what we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people internally are hurting.
Yes.
They're crying.
Yes.
They don't know how to express the way they feel because a lot of us have been, I would say, psychologically abused.
Absolutely. I agree.
Even though America is the greatest place on the planet.
Right. That's what they want you to believe.
They want you to believe because they've said it so much. But you're like, man, I'm catching HELL. And why are people don't like me because the color of my skin? And I had nothing to do with it. How can you dislike something? Because that's like saying, car, I don't like you because you are yellow. The car, like, I ain't make myself yellow.
What are you talking about?
I mean, like the teapot maker made me, not the teapot and the teapot maker. How the teapot is going to get upset with another teapot saying, my color is better than yours. Come on, that's a sign of ignorance. But back to what we were saying, that faith.
And it goes hand in hand with the topic, change.
Yes.
Because a big part of change is moving in faith. Because if you want to change, you have to do things that you have not done before and you have not seen before. So I believe that faith and change go hand in hand. You have to have some level of faith, and then this is where your beliefs come in as well.
Well, the change, when you are directing the change, when you're going to something that you have no evidence of what's going to happen, like an invention or a new development.
Or even applying for a new job.
Well, even someone says, I think, when someone says, I don't love you anymore, I'm quitting you, or I'm going to divorce you. I think the fear comes in because it's a selfish fear, because you feel like, what am I going to do?
Right.
It's a selfish fear.
Right.
You're like, okay, this person just fired me, or this person said they don't want to be with me no more. The sorrow comes in because you start thinking internally, oh my God, I'm alone.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Right.
The faith really dwindles. You feel like you're not going to be able to achieve that comfort zone of having this person with you, and you start to freak out. And oftentimes people get mad. Some guys get mad and wind up in prison because they did bodily harm to the person and the whole family. And then sometimes they will do bodily harm to themselves because that lack of faith, belief. It's astounding how most of us don't understand ourselves and our mind.
I was going to say it goes back to the person's individual self.
Yeah.
Because yes, you could have a belief that, oh my gosh, I'm just going to be single now. I'm going to be single forever. But that's tied into how you feel about yourself.
Yes.
Because if you feel like you the man or you the woman or you're going to keep improving or this and this, you're like, all right, I'm not with that experience anymore, but I know I could pull. Like, I know I'm not going to be out here forever.
Well, I remember when everybody knows that I got married. I was married for 3 years with your mother, Joyce.
It was only 3 years?
We were dated. We dated 5 years.
I never knew y'all only married 3 years.
Yeah, we dated 5 years.
Do you think you gave it a fair shot? 3 years?
I dated her 5 years.
Well, that's an indicator there, because you dated her for 5 years. You knew you didn't want to marry her. It didn't take you that long.
No, I liked her, and she had all of the ingredients. She was very smart.
But it took
beautiful.
you 5 years.
I figured I could smooth out some jagged edges.
You already knew. You ignored yourself. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's
5 years.
No. Oh, listen, there's one thing about men and women that I've learned in my 63 years. Men feel women are never going to change. How you see them, that's how they're going to be. And that's a great mistake. Because menopause definitely, and those monthlies.
It changes the game.
And those monthlies definitely changes the game. Okay, so men feel that women are not going to change, and women feel that they can change men.
I don't know. I must have more masculine chromosomes or something, whatever it is, the stuff I was skipping in science. Because I feel like men, I don't feel like I could change a man.
No, a lot of say I'm gonna dress him up, I'm gonna make him look better.
Oh my God, I'd be like, this is who you are.
No, but a lot of women said, okay, this guy, it's like saying I like chocolate chip ice cream, I just don't like the chips. But some people like chocolate. They'll buy chocolate chip ice cream. They'll eat the ice cream when you see them spitting out the chips. So you really don't like it.
Right. You spitting out the chips, so you don't like chocolate chip ice cream.
So some people say, listen, this guy is okay. I mean, he's a little.
If only I could do this.
I'm gonna tweak him a little bit, and I
never did that before.
And he keep dressing up like a cowboy. Or he keep dressing up in the 1970s. He keeps wearing the bell bottoms. Why don't I just buy him some straight leg jeans and so on?
And fix him up.
And fix him up a little bit.
Oh my goodness! How do men do? What y'all feel? How y'all feel about that?
And some men be like, "Oh, it's how my woman want me to feel," but that's only temporarily. Because before a little bit of while, he's gonna go back to wearing the bell bottoms, and he's still gonna say, And men, men think that, oh man, this woman, ooh, the way she is, oh my God, is she gonna be like that?
Okay, I can see that.
Oh my God.
Maybe I never wanted to do that work of fixing up a man because I had my daughter early. Yeah. So I felt like I was already like fixing up somebody, like responsible for somebody else. I can't be fixing you up.
Well, I'm just saying this is the belief.
Go back. Okay.
I don't want to.
You already did.
Okay, but I want to say. So I want to tell the world how I felt, and your mother. Oh my God, I just thought I would drink her bath water.
I know you want to tell the world. Say you want to tell the world how you felt again, because you told them this already.
So anyway, when she said, "Hey, I don't want this anymore," I'm like, and I'm like, and it was all me, and I was like, me, huh? And I felt, how can I navigate through this world? And listen.
Do you think it was because Never mind.
Listen, I was 180. Listen, I think I was 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm 185 pounds now.
Oh my
But back
goodness.
then I was 120 pounds soaking wet.
Oh my goodness.
And I just started wearing glasses until I was 22.
Oh,
So when we were dating those 5 years, I didn't
Mhm.
wear glasses.
Okay.
So I was like, cool, slender, and all that. And as we got together and we got married, and I was studying stocks and investments, and I just totally changed. I stopped hanging out with my friends, partying. So a lot of that had to do with it, because he
Okay.
still wanted to party and have a good time. And I was like, no, man, I got to get going. So I said, okay, we're going to do this properly, and so on and so. And then reading so much, I needed glasses at 22, eyeglasses. And then when she said, hey, I don't want this no more, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And it freaked me out. I started going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I think I needed muscles. That didn't do it. Didn't do it, because I went to the gym. I hated it. I was 120 pounds. So then, anyway, to make a long story short, in terms of, we talking about change, I realized that I wanted her to be happy. And I wanted myself to be happy.
Right. Okay.
And I said, wow. Because I tried everything, man. I tried to buy stuff, went and bought new clothes. I tried everything, but it wasn't working. I tried to be a better dad and everything, but it wasn't working. And I realized that's the first time I realized that you cannot control another human being.
It's true. So that's what helped you get from your hyperventilating and, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But you had to, and it helps that you were studying and learning and things like that. Like you weren't just sitting at home drinking beer saying, oh my gosh.
My mother was worried that I was going to be like my cousins and start drinking and do drugs and go off the deep end. And my mother would check on me and look at me and say, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I was doing a whole lot of psychoanalysis.
Okay.
And I was saying, why do I feel like, I kept asking myself, why do I fear?
It's important.
Why am I afraid? And I was afraid that I wasn't never going to be able to find a love like that.
Okay.
I was so afraid. And then I kept saying to myself, Robert, this is change. Who's telling you this? And then it came to my point. I was like, I'm telling myself that I'm not. Is anybody telling you this? No, other than me.
That's right.
So then I said, I need to change that thought. So then I said, okay, God,
So you realized that you were in control of your thoughts and how the outcome was, right?
That was amazing.
You had the control, and now
that was
look at you.
amazing. That was amazing. Now look at me. Then I started to sin.
Yeah.
So now that's what happens. It's a selfish thought.
So when we come back to change and faith and belief, and I know that wasn't easy. I'm glad that you shared that story with us.
No, I'm
It
not.
wasn't easy. Let's share more with the audience, because change is a topic. We all need to be figuring out how we're going to change every single day. And it's unfortunate that society will try to clown you for changing.
Yes.
Oh, you changed.
Yes. Yes. And then plus, the beautiful thing about change when you're going in the right direction, see, we try to figure all of it out. The universe, something that's called a miracle in terms of faith, it doesn't really need you to figure everything out.
That's right.
It just needs you to prepare and be in a position. In other words, for me to go higher and achieve, and even achieve another love, I couldn't be a drunk or crackhead.
Correct.
So I had to brush myself off and clean myself up, and I had to have a good mind in order for the universe to send me somebody else that would find me attractive.
You couldn't go down to the depths of despair.
No. And even if you get fired from a job or you lose a job, you have to say, okay, this world is big. See, let me tell you something. And a lot of people don't understand this. There's no possibility that the world could run out of gold. There is no possibility that the world can run out of oil. There is no possibility that the world can run out of anything that it needs in order to exist. A lot of people don't know that. So therefore, there is no possibility that prosperity must end. Because even today, right now, in 2021, the world is richer than it has ever been. Can you believe that? I remember 30, 40 years ago, it was something if you say you had $1 million. Now $1 million ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Now they talking about billions. And soon they're going to be talking about trillions.
Yeah.
So as the time goes on, so the world is steady progressing and increasing. And you have to have a mindset of not lack. You have to say, hey, I'm going to get mine. It's out here. I just have to think and change. If you want more, you have to change and have a new thought. and not be afraid of it. I mean, why would you be afraid? Because I mean, if you are afraid, then you're going to stay back.
Well, I think that, the human side of us, right? We have emotions. And sometimes people are afraid. So here's what I like to think of fear as. It should not paralyze you, right? So let's feel your way through it. Let's take an analysis. Let's analyze, why am I fearful? What am I fearful about? Diana and I were having a conversation this morning, and I can see how it applies here using the stop sign analogy. We were talking about signs, and sometimes people say, oh, that was a sign, let me just not go anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So what I said was a stop sign. Could you imagine being in a car with someone, and I come and I pick you up, and I say, you know what? It's my birthday, and we are celebrating every day starting August 1st through the 31st, and it's August 1st, and I pick you up and I say, we're going to drive to one of my favorite restaurants,
Some
right?
people do that. Some people do that.
Oh, no. I've already started celebrating my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to my friend Sharia. She's been asking me for 8 months, what you want to do for your birthday? So since I'm like, nothing. Yeah, she already been taking me out. We were having a great time. So back to the story. So I pick you up, and then we're driving, and you get all dressed up. And we get to a stop sign, and we get to the stop sign, and I stop, and I stay,
okay,
and I never go.
Okay.
You would be in the passenger seat thinking, Hyacinth, you've been telling me about this favorite restaurant you go to. Everybody knows you there. You already know what we're going to get for appetizer, entree, 2 desserts. And why are we here? Well, I came to a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this morning that a stop sign is not to stop you indefinitely.
It's not a permanent.
It's not a permanent. So let's bring that to fear. So if you have fear that comes up, it is not for you to feel it and freak out and say, you know what, I'm going to bury my head. Mm-hmm. We got to feel the fear, understand, where's this coming from? What is it? Okay, let me work through this, just as if you were at a stop sign. If you're at a 4-way stop sign, you wait and you let the other cars go. And then when it's your turn, you say, all right, now it's my turn to cross the intersection.
Yeah.
Same thing with the fear, right? Because the human side of you is sometimes you're going to have fear about different things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I feel the fear, but I go for it anyway.
When you mentioned the stop sign, I didn't know where you was going, but then it reminded me of...
Did I bring it all together?
Yeah, because it reminded me of the turnpike and the rest stops. And a lot of people, in the same principles, when you're on a turnpike and you're trying to go somewhere, thank God they have rest stops so you can pull over and use the bathroom and get something to eat. Imagine just staying at the rest stop.
Right.
They're not designed,
right,
just like the stop sign, not designed for you to stay there.
Right.
No more than the turnpike when you're driving for 5 hours and you say, okay, I want to stop at the turnpike. It's temporarily. It's not designed for you to stay there overnight and sleep overnight and just stay there. That's not your destination.
Right. Somebody may call you and say, hey, I'm waiting on you. You said you were coming from Tallahassee to Miami. Where are you? Well, I'm at the rest stop. Okay, I call you back 2 hours later. Are you close now? No, I'm at the rest stop.
Yeah,
but I thought you were coming here.
Time for you to go, man.
Right. You got to keep going. So, yeah, you acknowledge it, the emotions, things like that, and process it. The only way that you can process it and move forward in faith, because the changes that are going to come, I'm here to tell you, whatever you think you want and you're going to get, that's only a small fraction of really what's available for you.
Yes.
So if you have this picture all in your mind, and so without going into too many details, I told my dad yesterday, I said, you know what? I want to get a farm, and I'm thinking about 10 acres. She's like, what are you talking about? 100 acres. And I was like, you know what? You're right. 100 acres it is. You know what I mean? So just that mind, whatever you have in your mind is so small in comparison to what's available for you. And if you continue to go forward, what you're going to get. So when you think about things, you're like, okay, let's think about, I know that I need to change, because if I don't change, I'm going to stay here, continue getting the same result. If you want a new result, something has to change.
Yes.
And changes are going to challenge you. They have to challenge you.
They should. If other than that, there's no change. It has to. It's amazing. I was thinking about that when you was talking about the farm, and I said, oh, man, I'm going to tell you, Hyacinth, did you go look on a farm? I want to buy a farm.
Oh, when I called yesterday, you were saying you meant to tell me that.
Yes.
And I said, oh my gosh, red line, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, there you go, with the moon.
Ooh.
And I said, I want to buy a farm, and I don't want no little 5 acres. I want a lot of acres. I
was like 10 acres. You're like, no.
No, not no 10.
100.
Yeah.
And then I looked after you got off the phone. I'm like, 100.
Yeah. At least that.
Yeah.
So let's buy a farm, and then so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go buy a farm and actually put I think a lot of people, especially people of color, man, I think we really should be buying farms.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I can't even express to y'all what is the
Oh
tax,
my
the
gosh.
tax deductions, the tax write-offs for owning a farm. Oh my God! And then you talking about generational wealth.
Oh, come on.
Oh my goodness! You talking about forever and forever and forever. And it's just good.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you're making money, you do not know. They keep that a secret about all of the tax deductions about having a farm.
And the benefits you'll get. And
And
it's
the
so
benefits.
it's so funny when I had that thought last week. I called my friend Kevin. Kevin is like, shout out to Kevin. I don't know if I don't even think Kevin watches our shows.
Probably.
Right? I probably see Kevin like once a year, if that. But he is a friend, good friend that we've been friends for years. That if I call him about something, he's gonna run with it.
Yeah.
Right? So he gave me all the information, a lot of the information and things like that. And just thinking back to having faith, the conversation about faith. Now, had I had that thought to say, you know what, I want to farm. I want to get out of here. I want to farm. I may coming back and forth to Miami, and just left it there and not taking any action, made calls. It just would have stayed there. It made me think about when you gave the example. You said if you want to go to New York, if we're going to go to New York tonight to see a play, but we don't buy a ticket, we'll never get there. What I thought about is, on the same token, this is how law of attraction, or people say miracles happen, right? So let's use the New York example, because I think people can grasp this a little bit more. So let's say I woke up this morning and I said, oh my gosh, there's this play on Broadway. They just reopened Broadway, and tonight is the night that they're only going to have my favorite performer in the play, opening night.
Right.
And I want to go. And if I just sat there and I never shared that with anyone, nor if I never purchased my ticket or went online to view tickets and things like that, surely I would not go.
It would just been a thought.
It's just been a
And
thought.
we have 80,000 thoughts a day, and we don't act on them.
Right. Now, on the flip side, I had the option to go online, purchase my ticket, or I could have said, you know what? On my show on Wednesday, I could have come here and say, you know what, man, such and such is opening tonight. I want to go to this play because this actress is going to be there and I want to see it tonight. And I would have given the opportunity for someone out there listening and say, you know what? I have tickets so that I can get you VIP tickets, front row, no problem. The show starts at 8. Just as long as you meet me at Will Call at 7:30, you're good.
Right.
And then I will be saying, oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Law of attraction, right? But so I'm sharing this example with you all because you have to know when the 80,000
80,000
thoughts come, you got to move on it. You have to move. You can't just, oh no, not me. And a lot of people do that. Not me. That's not for me. That's not for me. No,
A lot of people do that. A lot
It's
of people,
impossible.
or they don't believe.
it's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. And when anytime you hear when someone says something is impossible, I'm gonna tell you what knocks that impossible belief away all the time. 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 Think about it. At one time, having a wireless phone in our hands was considered impossible. We need to have a cord. It was considered impossible. It just took time for the right consciousness to develop in you, in us, in someone to say, let's do that. It's just time. That what you call impossible, it's just time. The guy that ran, a certain time in the 40-yard or the 100 said, hey, it's impossible to do that. Just give it some time. I mean, you look at the athletes now, the young kids, they're about to jump over the basket. They're about to run out of the field. You're like, how could they do that?
Right.
Just give it time.
Right.
you
It
know?
was impossible when we were doing that, right?
Right. And now don't even think about cars. I mean, the next 10 years, most of the cars, all the car dealers, they're not going to be gas cars. They're going to be electric. Can you believe that? And they were 100 years ago, Tesla, they were talking about doing this, and they're like, nah, don't do it. So time. So what you feel that's unbelievable or impossible is not.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
There's
It's time.
time and action.
Conscious.
Yeah, time and action.
Belief.
As you talked about the phone, and gave me a flashback of back in the days when we had the phones, the house phones, and you had a cord. I don't know if people still have house phones anymore, but you had a cord, and we used to get the longest cord ever. And your son, Bobby, my brother, used to hog the phone. He used to hog the phone. So what I would do, he would be off in his room on the phone, caking, macking, whatever you want to call it. And I would go to the cord where it was and pull it out of the wall. So I would disconnect So you think you on the phone now, all of a sudden you don't hear. So we would be fighting like cats and dogs. And one day he poured a jug of water on my head.
Wow.
He poured a gallon of water on my head. So I gotta ask you, Bobby, if you're listening, if you had known that cell phones would have been invented one day, would you have done that to your dearest sister whom you love so much and cannot live without? Right? I added that extra part.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, just thinking about it. I mean, back then we were fighting over the phone.
Yeah.
We didn't think that one day it would be like now. I feel like a cell phone. It's funny that you say that. I'm like, this is such an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
Just because someone calls me, you expect me to answer.
Yeah.
But
Or
back
text
in,
you.
yeah, I'm like, I'm minding my business.
But you know the funny thing about it is this what we hold in our hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
20 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be like a tank.
Yeah, yeah,
It's gonna be like, oh my God, this what y'all had?
yeah. Right. Y'all was using it.
Y'all was using this
Yeah.
to talk on?
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean?
true. It's true.
It really, so just time. Now, some
Time.
people can't even comprehend that, but
Time.
there's a lot of things are being worked on right now that you just because you
Yeah.
can't see don't mean that it's not being worked
Yes,
on. I want to say it again. A lot of creation, people are working while you doing the same old thing, driving on 95, cooking the same oatmeal, eating the same dinner every night. There are countless of people that are working on things that you can't even comprehend. That's what they're doing, and they're having a good time. They're working on it. Think about it. You know, it has to be because most people are always a day late and a dollar short. A lot of people get leftovers. The reason why I go back to what I said in the beginning of the show. In America, our education system consists of teaching people what to think and not how to think. There's a lot of rebels out here that's like, nah, man, I don't like that. Like my grandson, your son. I mean, he's a thinker. All that boring stuff that they teach him in school, he's like, oh my God, this is so
I'm not with
boring.
that.
No, that's why we have him at 10 years old
Doing piano.
playing piano.
Yeah.
And he's learning Beethoven pieces.
With two hands.
With what? In 10 years old.
With two hands. It ain't been 6 months.
Bought a grand piano. He got a grand piano. And my 10-year-old, and then my granddaughter, 21 years old, they're not learning chopsticks. They're learning Beethoven,
Yeah.
and they are hard pieces. That's because her mind needs something more, and most of us do.
We do.
We really do. But they keep us boxed in this stupid stuff. Donald Duck, Columbus discovered America
Type stuff.
teaching us what to think instead of how to think.
think.
That's very important.
Yeah. Speaking of your grandson, last Friday, he's in summer camp. He's having an absolute time in his life. First of all, summer camps, a lot of them weren't open due to the situation. But then the ones that were open, they had all these restrictions and stuff. And I know that my child, he needs to run around. He needs to run around. So he's having the absolute time of his life. Anyway, they have sometimes these special field trips that only a select group of people can go. And one of these trips was to it's called Shark Park, but it was a cable park. Have you ever heard of kneeboarding? I didn't know that was a thing. But anyway, you're hooked up to like some cables and you do these water sports. And both of us, the parent and the child separately, had to watch a 5-minute safety video and sign a waiver online before he could even go the next day. So I said, okay, we get ready to do this. He's like, yes, he wants to do it. And so the next day I says, well, how was kneeboarding? And he said, oh, it was good. But, I didn't know it was going to be in a real lake. Right? And so when he said that, I already knew my child. He said, I know it's going to be in a lake. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said, yeah, I saw a fish in there. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, so what'd you do? He was like, oh, well, I just sat to the side and played with my friends.
He wasn't getting in there with the fish.
Oh, gosh. He said he got in there 2 times. And he said, here's the thing. They said there's no alligators in there. But I thought, this is a real lake. So he said, nah, logically, not just what they're telling him. He's like, hold on, this is a lake. I see these fish in here. How can you tell me that there aren't any alligators or whatever the case may be? So he just said, I know my child thought it was so, so funny that he just thought more ahead. And I appreciated that.
That's interesting. We got to give a shout out to some of the people.
Yeah, look at Miss Johnson, Gloria Johnson. She says, great explanation, makes sense. Finding what brings on the fear should make you move forward. We cannot conquer what you don't confront. Confront our fears, deal with them, then drive and go forward.
Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
true.
It's really good. You ask yourself, why do I feel like this?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like this? And then say, that's a lie.
Yeah.
And who told me that? Who told me I can't get another job? Who told me that I cannot make more money? I'm human. I got a mind. I can think. Who told me this is all I'm worth?
Yeah.
Why do I think this is all I am worth?
Let me tell myself a new story.
Yeah. Why don't I learn something? Who said I can't learn something? Learning means that you didn't know something.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yes.
Because we at the Henderson Financial Group, we constantly learning because some things that we didn't know. We constantly, and every time we learn something, guess what? That's an indication that there's more to learn.
That's right. More to
So
learn.
don't be bashful or feel bad because you don't know how to do something. That's wonderful. Now you're using your left brain and your right brain. Now you're growing and you have yourself some business. Okay?
Yeah.
You're minding your business.
Right. Not everybody else's business.
Everybody else's business.
What did Miss Redhead say? You want to read hers?
Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Yeah, that's true.
Being
That's
stuck
true.
somewhere that
You don't belong. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very painful.
Well, that's very.
Especially when you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here.
I'm supposed to be here. Why I'm with this sucker? I'm with this drunk, and or why I'm with this job, and I know I have to be here, but I cannot earn a good living with this job.
Yeah.
But I can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
No, you can. Who told you you can? You did. Oftentimes we are our own worst enemy.
It's almost as if the pain is going to persist as an indicator that you are out of alignment. You're in the wrong space.
Oh, it will.
That's what it is for.
It will.
Not just like, okay, well, I've just gotten used to it. I've gotten numb to it. Let me just stay here.
It
It's
don't go
like,
away.
No. It is an indicator for you to get up and move. Get up, get a new job, get a new whatever it is that you want so that you can move. And you got to change to be able to do that.
June is it? Change your thoughts, change your outcome. That's very
Yes,
good.
that's powerful. Powerful. Yes, I agree. Change is uncomfortable and frightening. Yes.
But it's good.
All right, we got Miss Redhead, a new name, Jerry Johnson.
Hey,
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry Johnson.
Have you seen him on your Saturday show?
No.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for commenting. We realize this may not be your first time watching, but I believe this may be your first time commenting. So thank you for commenting today. All right. We're about at 1:03. So the next time you see Mr. Henderson on the air, it will be my birthday. That will be next. Oh, no. Dang, next week.
Yeah, you're going too fast. You got faith, though, don't
Every
you?
day's my birthday. Oh, yeah. I've been saying I'm 40 for months.
Oh, man. You're
I was like, you're not 40. All right. V. Darrow says the father-daughter relationship is so beautiful to watch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Stay safe, stay sane. Coming up tonight at 7 p.m.,
Yes.
we have Antonio Woodbury and Tavares Jones for the Rising Solution. Then on Saturday morning, 1 week before the greatest day of his life ever, it's going to be the 8 a.m. Understanding Money show. And then I'll slide in at 9:30 for the American Cream Show. My dad will be back with James T at 10:15 for Understanding Money Part 2. And then next Saturday, my birthday, I'm going to have Baba on. We're going to come on at 9.
Oh, cool.
So as soon as you go off, we're going to be on for a whole hour-ish.
Oh, cool.
Okay? All right. Y'all be good. Stay safe. Stay sane. If you haven't done so already, be sure to share this video. Don't worry about if they like it. They are looking. Okay? All right. Until
Peace.
then, peace.